Oh, y'all gotta pardon my tardy. Y'all gotta pardon a brother's tardiness. But we up in here. And I mean we up in here. Like it ain't no other thing to do. You figure, do me? Miss Tyra's always up in here. We up in here today, chat. And it's been a long day. Last night was a long night. But we want to talk about some things today. We want to get to know you a little bit. We want to see what the hell is wrong with Daryl Ruiter today. You know what I'm saying? We want to see what the hell is really going on. Because all I know is it's been popping. It's been popping. Things have been taking place. And your boy ain't got to do no work today. So I'm in this mug chilling. And when I say chilling, I do mean I'm chilling. I'm chilling so hard that it ain't even funny. You know what I'm saying? You got that drink. I just put my cigar out. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But while we got y'all here, you know what I'm saying? While we got y'all here, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Do not forget to do your part. You know what I'm saying? Do not forget. Hit that subscribe button and do not forget to hit that little cheeky down there at the bottom and follow your boy. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're following your boy, because that's what we do. That's all I'm saying. Show your boy some love, because he needs it. But I appreciate everybody for taking the time out and hanging out with your boy, because it is a wonderful, wonderful Monday afternoon. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. And I hope y'all on y'all way home are already at home from work. You know what I'm saying? We got this thing popping. We got it popping. You know, Auntie Faye is in the building. She's dropping videos. So I hope y'all are going to check them out. Tyra's in the building. Myra's in the building. There's a few other lurkers in the building. We see y'all lurking. But it's all right. Y'all can lurk. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I be chilling too. But you know how we do. We 10 minutes into that thing. So you know what that means. We gotta get the party started. And ain't but one way to get the party started. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do this. This is that new Cleveland media. The people that care about the people that's supposed to care about the people that they talk about. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just up here gambling to be gabbing to be gabbing. We up here putting the business down. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's get the party started.
It's popping, people. Yes, sir! poppin', people. Yo. 15 years in, still cooking. Back when the lobbies were ruthless. Call of Duty on the screen, late night. 2K dreams, no sleep, just truth in. Turn the channel to a playground. Whole city watching how he break down. First black network, he stamped that. Get the keys, let him meet, never take back. Build lanes, build lives, build legends. Put shine on the kids they ain't mentioned. You can feel every step in his stride. When he talk, you can tell he's that guy. Big Snacks, been that guy. From the sticks and the courts to the bright stage lights. Put the crew on, watch their views go high. When he say, yo, what's poppin'? You know it's go time. Big Snacks, been that guy. Turn grind into gold, you can see it in his eyes. New wave, same heart, same drive. When you talk new, you can't leave him out the line. Team Justice on the jersey, whole squad locked in. Play sturdy, MOG days, they remember those tags. Every win put respect on the flag. Now we're Shedeur on the big screen. Coach Prime in the frame, new big dream. Telling stories that the numbers can't show. Whole culture in the clips when they roll. From the first upload to the prime time. Hit it common thread running through the timeline. Lay bricks, now the next one's climb. Say his name when you talk all the grind. Big Snacks, been that guy. From the sticks and the courts to the bright stage lights. Put the crew on, watch they views go high. When he say, yo, what's poppin'? You know it's go time. Big Snacks, been that guy. Turn grind into gold, you can see it in his eyes. New wave, same heart, same drive. When you talk new clip, you can't leave him out the line. Nah.
Been that guy. I have been that guy for a mighty long time. You know what I'm saying? I have been that dude for a mighty long time. I'm just glad y'all hanging out with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Coach Prime is on a tear. These people don't know what they're doing. So many other things going on. You know what I'm saying? And Daryl Ruiter is just running around, just hating on everything the Cleveland Browns have done. What we gonna start at is week 1, the first day of OTA. Minicamp. We ain't going to week 1. We gonna start in the first days of OTAs after that day was over with. And we're going to go through all 3 days of Daryl Ruiter and his hatred and Coach Riz with his correction. This is just a look-see at what you hear and what's being reported from the Cleveland Browns. Not the Cleveland Browns themselves, just from the media aspect. As a matter of fact, just from two people's perspective. And the perspectives are so far and away from each other that it's awful. It's glaring how much Daryl Ruiter really doesn't like Shedeur or Deshaun. It's absolutely horrendous. But y'all want to take this ride with me, I'm gonna need y'all to put them twos in the chat and we can start this adventure off and take it to another place. I don't see no twos in the chat. We know we ain't putting no ones in the chat because that's the other nephew now. We putting the twos in the chat if we want to go on this adventure. You know, if you want to take this ride with me, then let me show you what we doing. Let me show you how the people feel about the people. Let's start from day 1 of minicamp.
day one of Brown's mandatory minicamp, which is in the books. But let's start with how the day began, and that is the retirement of Joel Bitonio, which became official on Tuesday morning. And Coach Riz, let's start with Joel. And really, the model of consistency for this franchise for the better part of 12 years. He's a 5-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. We'll see if he's got enough juice to get him into the Hall of Fame. It's really tough for those interior offensive linemen, but the Browns are losing quite a bit not having Joel Bitonio out there, even though I think once free agency began, the writing was on the wall. The old number 75 was not going to be back.
Well, the thing now, this is the first day of mandatory minicamp. Joel Bitonio had got his flowers because he had made his announcement that he wasn't coming back and he was going to retire. So on this day, Joel Bitonio got his flowers. We're not going to listen to that Joel Bitonio stuff. We're going to move on to the get down to where we want to be. So let's go.
Seasons here and did not get to sniff the playoffs. Okay, let's shift our attention to the field. And what we saw here on Tuesday is, and I think, a pretty good day for the quarterbacks, mostly. Really, Shedeur, though, stood out to me. I thought he was fantastic, throwing to all levels of the field. What did you see from number 2?
He was outstanding today. So not only obviously anticipation, accuracy, but things I've been watching since he got here. His footwork is definitely improved. He's trying to get rid of the ball quicker. You can see that within his progressions, which tells you Todd Monken and his staff are doing a really good job of getting him to where he needs to be. First, second, third progression, then getting to his checkdowns. Obviously, they have some drills where he's holding on to it. They're working scramble drill. The defense is trying to stay connected. But once again, I think his connection with Isaiah Bond has already been there. But I was really impressed with his connection with both Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston Day. He likes to throw the ball deep. Boston went out and got one. Casey Concepcion went up and got one. So the connection's building with those guys, along with Jerry Jeudy. This receiving core impressed me, along with Shedeur Sanders today.
Yeah, we'll touch on the receivers in a moment. Let's go to Deshaun Watson. Todd Monken did tell us after.
Here we go with old twisted face. Doggone K-Sap say he looked like the mask. I can't say that he's wrong because he do look like Jim Carrey in the mask right now. But we finna go on these quarterbacks. Now, the man is truly feeling some type of way about these quarterbacks. If you've been following and listening, he is truly not liking what he's seen from the quarterback position, because he's called them terrible, inconsistent, not ready to play, has all but called Coach Monken a liar in his commentary about this quarterback room. But let's go.
Practice. More likely than not, no grand announcement is coming after this minicamp about who the lead dog or the starting quarterback is going to be going into training camp. As he put it, they've both earned the right to compete. Deshaun, he does look healthy. We've talked about that this offseason, Coach. What are you seeing from him out there?
Well, again, I thought it's different when you run with the twos, right? Because now it seemed like the timing was a little bit off today. Now he ended the practice with a great 7-on-7 period where, once again, there's no pressure. There's no pressure anyway, well, obviously, until the pads go on. But he was really sharp then. His footwork continues to be impressive. Again, I think the most impressive thing about him is just his health. You wouldn't realize he's coming off multiple lower leg injuries, a major shoulder injury. The ball's jumping off. Finished practice with a nice over route to Luke Floria, a local kid, for a touchdown. That ended practice today. Again, he got most of the reps with the twos today. They said they're going to flip it tomorrow. That'll be interesting to see how Shedeur does with the twos, and then he moves up. Once again, I thought they were both really good, encouraging each other. Their tempo was good. Their pace was good. Operation seems to be pretty good right now for this time of year. They're doing a lot on offense right now, so it's pretty impressive. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow, see if he can be as accurate and as impactful as Shedeur was today. Shedeur had a really good day today.
Yeah, he really did. So did the
Now, you see the contrast from Daryl Ruiter to Coach Riz. The contrast is absolutely ridiculous when you're talking this quarterback room. Daryl and Coach Riz are night and day. They're on two separate sides of the spectrum when they are talking about what's taking place on this quarterback room, in this adventure into the quarterback spectrum. But we are not done. Let's go.
Receivers, you mentioned Isaiah Bond. I want to talk about him specifically. He looks a little bigger, a little stronger, put on a little, good, as I call it, good weight this offseason, but the explosiveness is still there, and it feels like every practice I have watched of him this spring, you just really see the player that Andrew Berry really thought that they were going to get last year. Obviously, no training camp, came into this thing late as a rookie. Still made some plays as a rookie, but boy, his game looks more and more polished and polished the more he's out there on the field.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. When somebody asked me earlier today, who has been most impressive, consistent-wise, has been Isaiah Bond on both sides of the ball. All the players. He has been really good, both inside the slot, outside. But again, you can see that explosiveness when he catches the football. His connection with Shedeur Sanders is very good. But again, his ability to get in and out of routes. Like you said, he's bigger and stronger, so he can fight for the ball in those 50-50 positions. I've been very, very impressed with him. Obviously, we know he could run, but he's turning himself into a complete receiver. This receiver room's getting a little bit more competitive than it's been in previous years, for sure.
Yeah, Casey Concepcion strikes me as one of those guys.
Is Daryl little head bouncing up and down, looking like a little bobblehead. Daryl is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to talking about this quarterback room. But let's move on to day two. Let's move on to day two of the quarterback competition and Daryl Ruiter and his critique of the Browns minicamp position. He had a really, really bad hair day. He was looking really, 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 really bad. You know what I'm saying? And boy, you just don't know when it comes to Daryl Ruiter. Dude is just not in it to win it. He doesn't believe in either one of these quarterbacks when it comes to Deshaun or Shedeur. Damn sure don't believe in Dillon Gabriel, because he threw Dillon Gabriel under the bus a long time ago, before Dillon Gabriel was even considered to be a backup quarterback 2, quarterback 1, quarterback 3. That man said last season Dillon Gabriel just wasn't it. He wasn't wrong, but I'm just saying, before Dillon Gabriel had made it out of rookie minicamp, Daryl Ruiter had threw Dillon Gabriel under the bus. Now, half of the problem with the Cleveland media and the people that are covering this space is they expect more out of the quarterback position that they're going to get. They expect a quarterback to ride into Cleveland like the White Knight and save the franchise. Year one, they're thinking Super Bowl. The biggest problem is Cleveland hasn't ever been to a Super Bowl. They're not thinking, let's build something for the future. Let's get better along the way and then get to a Super Bowl. They bypass the playoffs and just want to go to the Super Bowl. But we're going to go into day two of this coverage and start out from there.
Day number 2 of Browns mandatory minicamp. Before everyone jumps on me about my hair, this is what happens when you're out in 80 degrees. It's sweltering hot. You're pouring water all over yourself to cool down. You get this. So I apologize. That's why Coach Riz is smart. He doesn't have hair, and he wears a hat. Let's start with the quarterbacks. We heard from Deshaun Watson for the first time in what felt like nearly 2 years. We also heard from Shedeur Sanders. Interesting comment from Shedeur. he said he doesn't really view this as a competition between him and Deshaun. He views it more so as a team thing. I got news for Shedeur. Deshaun certainly feels like it's a competition, I think, between him, because one of you is going to be on the bench holding the clipboard, and the other one's actually going to be playing some football.
Well, the thing that's interesting is at this time of year, for how Monken's running this, it is kind of like we're going to get ready for the joint practices. We're going to get ready for preseason games. Obviously, he's thinking more, and that's kind of a young guy's way to think, right? I'm going to improve myself, where Watson's like, I'm a veteran, I'm going to win this job. I thought, it switched from yesterday to today. But yeah, you can see that it's very much a competition for Deshaun Watson. It's very much, you could see him out there today working as hard as he could. And not to say he hasn't done it before, but there's a sense of relaxation with Shedeur Sanders right now. And you can feel that when you're out there.
Yeah, and look, Deshaun, got to be honest with you, he doesn't look that great. He does not look like the player that the Browns thought they were getting, but he...
Here we go. Deshaun don't look that great. This is day 2 when Deshaun got most of the first team reps. Matter of fact, I think he got all of them, just like Shedeur did on day 1. But once again, here comes Daryl Ruiter with his hatred. It's not critique of his play. It's just he doesn't like Deshaun and doesn't want Deshaun to be a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And it's obvious in his reporting that he doesn't like Deshaun and doesn't want him there.
Hasn't played a lot. He's only played 19 games with the Browns. We'll see throws where he's putting it on a dime, and then the next throw he misses a guy by 5 yards. I mean, it's wildly inconsistent. That said, Shedeur has not put himself in a position where he's the lead dog in the race either. And so, that's, I think.
Lord have mercy. Just help them, Lord. Do they not understand that this is mini camp? This is a training camp to become better, not to become the starting quarterback. But this is where people show their understanding of football and what it takes to be a star and be a football player. This is what someone who has covered this team particularly for over a decade plus and still doesn't understand how this works. But I take that back, because when Todd Monken said, maybe I might have my quarterback by the end of camp, they took that to mean that Todd Monken's going to have his quarterback at the end of camp. When he said he would like to, maybe he might, but he never gave a definitive yes or no at the end of training camp or at the end of mini camp. By this time going into training camp, I will have a definitive answer on who's my starter. That never took place. They took some of what he said and tried to make it the truth and tried to hold him liable for their misinterpretation of what he said. But once again, that's the Cleveland media taking something half-heartedly and taking something and turning it into what you want or something you want it to be instead of what was actually mentioned. You saw what happened at the beginning of OTAs when Mary Kay put her story out that Deshaun Watson is far and away better than Shedeur Sanders. We just need to not even have no competition. We just need to give Deshaun Watson the job right now. And everybody took that story and ran with it like it was gospel. It wasn't. That was her opinion. And they took it and they just threw it out there and made 15 million stories about it. Deshaun Watson is better than Shedeur. How? When? Where do we see that? Who said that? The problem with this competition is Shedeur is better than half of these people that are watching think he is. Half of them have really never seen him play. They've seen clips. Nobody watched the whole seasons of him at Jackson, him at Colorado, or him last season. They've seen clips. They don't understand that he gets better as he plays the game. They don't understand that things take place and it just happens. They're not watching. They're not paying attention. And they haven't paid attention. What, son? I gotta unlock an iPad. Lord have mercy. My child sees me in the middle of a stream and says, Dad, can you unlock your iPad? I don't even have Apple products. These motherfuckers, I don't have Apple products. I don't care for them. Here, son. No, come here. Come here. Come on, get in this camera. Been on. Y'all see this right here? This is 13 years old. He's a star football player. He all right with basketball. He still ain't got my skills. But this is my 13-year-old. And instead of unlocking one of his tablets, it's like 9 tablets in this house. He brings the one tablet that they know I don't like, the iPad, because he's a teenager and they think Apple products are superior than anything. I am here to tell you, son, you are wrong. That's why you have an Android and not an Apple. Okay, we'll see you later. Holler at you, my boy. But back to what we were doing. Like I'm saying, y'all listening at your boy. Well, I ain't like Auntie Faye, ain't on that wine and water. We don't need Corona. Now, let's get back to Daryl Ruiter and all his hate.
What concerns me about this quarterback competition, Lance, is that neither one of these guys is distinguishing themselves at a level where you say, hey, that's going to be the guy here in 2026. We're going to have to sort this out in training camp again.
Well, I think right through the first 2 days of mandatory minicamp, I think that's well said. So that you're getting more highs and lows that you're getting from Deshaun. You're getting those wow throws, but then you are getting some terrible throws, some terrible decisions where I don't think Shedeur has been as high, nor has he been as low. He's been fairly consistent. One thing I always try to look at is I try to look at their footwork, see if they transfer their weight, try to look at the fundamentals of things. And you can see the improvement that Shedeur has made, not only over the course of last year, but even through early, OTAs into camp, he's making a ton of progression. He also has made a ton of impact. So even though neither have played great.
What? What'd you say, Coach Reed? He made a ton of what? Come on back. Let's bring it back.
As I try to look at their footwork, see if they transfer their weight, try to look at the fundamentals of things. And you can see the improvement that Shedeur has made, not only over the course of last year, but even through early, OTAs into camp, he's making a ton of progression. He also has made a ton of impact. So even though
that's that word. Shedeur has made a ton of impact. And that he has. And by the time we get into training camp, his impact will be even bigger. But this is not the story for today. The story for today is Daryl Ruiter and his hatred of these quarterbacks. Look at that chin. Look at the chin. Just the chin. Look like K-Sap little brother. Look at the chin. Let go.
Oh, neither have played great or terribly. He had more impact yesterday than Deshaun had today.
Yeah, now let's shift our focus to the running backs. We're
Nope.
Here's for what he's maybe a red zone guy or
direction. His catch radius is really impressive. I know we're in helmets, shirts, and shorts, and we don't want to get too carried away here, but is Denzel Boston as good as I think he is?
Well, there's two things. When you say the
Denzel Boston is the truth. If y'all ain't been paying attention, Denzel Boston ain't dropped the ball all practice, all camp, OTAs, and minicamp. Now, people were concerned with Casey Concepcion and his drop passes, but if you do your research, KC Concepcion's drops are not all that big of a deal. KC only dropped 7 passes last season in college. 7 out of the more than 100 passes that he got in school last season. So his drop radius is not that bad. They talk about it because he got a few drops, and they give you and get you all upset and concerned and worried because he dropped a few passes. You don't have to worry about that with Casey. Everybody's going to drop a pass. It's going to happen. If you play football, I guarantee you there is not a football player in the NFL with a 100% reception statistic. It's just not possible. It's just not being a human. But we're going to move on from Daryl Ruiter in day 2. It's time to go back to day 3 of Daryl Ruiter's hatred of Shedeur and Deshaun as he becomes more and more biased, and you get to see it and you get to hear it. And it becomes more and more obvious that he just doesn't like these quarterbacks. And he would rather both of these quarterbacks suck and Cleveland lose almost every game this season to have the ability to draft a new quarterback in the upcoming draft next season. When you've already stood on the table for any other quarterback but Shedeur or Deshaun. You've advocated to hire, to recruit, to trade for, to sign anybody but Shedeur or Deshaun. All of the free agent quarterbacks that was on the market, they wanted all of them. Sorsby, who is in trouble in college for gambling, they wanted that guy. Once again, anybody but Shedeur. Not the character of the quarterback doesn't matter. What they've done in the past doesn't matter. How they're currently playing doesn't matter. As long as it's not Shedeur or Deshaun, they don't care. They'll take it. But the more and more they see Shedeur play, the more and more impressed they are becoming. So much so that Mary Kay has damn near recanted her statement from beginning of OTAs that Deshaun should be quarterback 1. But let's go to day 3 of minicamp with Daryl Ruiter and Coach Reed.
Mandatory minicamp that took place this week, but, well, the offseason program, because school is out for summer for the Browns as everybody goes their separate ways for the next 6 weeks or so. The Browns will be back underway late July. We're looking around July 28th, approximately there, when veterans will report for training camp, and then the first workout, I believe, is going to be around July 29th. So we're going to have a little bit of a break, but a lot to talk about when it comes to this mandatory minicamp this week in the offseason program. And I want to start here, Coach, because we haven't talked a lot about it this week, but the emphasis on special teams and the fact that we have seen each of these 3 practices today extending to place a premium on that unit as well.
Well, I think we saw last year, we knew that the offense was a struggle. The defense was very good, but not enough was said about the special teams last year.
Special teams was ass last season. You lost to the Jets because of your special teams. special teams was bad last season. I think special teams gave up about as many points as the defense did last season because they were horrible. Just bad as a whole.
He really hurt this football team. And a lot of times what coaches will do is they'll say special teams are important, but you see it in action with Monken. Monken's a guy that they don't practice it just at the end or just at the beginning. They do it throughout practice. So kind of the theme was we're going to go live. We're going to do a walkthrough, and then we're getting into special teams. And they did that for the first 2 days. They did during OTAs. They even did it during rookie camp with stations. Everybody's involved. They all understand the importance of special teams. Not only they just run the special teams, but they break the special teams down. Each individual group within extra point, within punt block, you name it, they're breaking it down individually as well as a team. And if you can be really good on defense, and you can make special teams a wash, not always win it, but you don't talk about it, that's a good special teams day. You're going to be in a lot of football games because it looks like this offense is going to be better.
We're going to get into the quarterback competition thing here in a little bit, but there's another competition on special teams that's brewing, and that's the punting. Not too much, though. I'd say maybe 15, 20 minutes shorter than the previous couple of practices earlier this week, but the tempo, the pacing, there seemed to be a lot of situational tempo that took place today. What did you see there, and what was Todd Monken and his staff trying to accomplish in those periods?
Well,
Daryl asked a lot of questions because Daryl really didn't understand the concepts that Coach Monken was trying to do when Shedeur and Deshaun were both holding on the ball for extended periods of time. Daryl would just complain about it and say that they needed to get better as a unit instead of understanding that Coach Monken had them working on that specific thing or extending plays and getting better, as in doing the thing that matters that happens during a ball game. Scramble drills for the defense, also for the offense. Getting better. This is what Todd Monken does. He makes the situation better. He practices all things that could be possible. Something that Kevin Stefanski has never done in his coaching tenure. As a Browns head coach, Kevin Stefanski didn't stop the practice when players were offsides or got a penalty, didn't start the practice all the way over, didn't start the quarter all the way over, didn't re-rack the play and say do it again when things went off the rack. But this year, there's a different story. You hear them talk about Todd Monken being the loudest voice in practice, working with all position groups, offense, defense, quarterback, receivers, safety. Todd Monken is all over the field because he is required. That is his job. And with Todd Monken, you've heard the stories of even Dylan Gabriel looking better as a quarterback. Because of why? Because they have a coach that knows how to coach. Because they have a coach that is a football guy and not a supposed offensive guru that still hasn't shown up. Because he understands in order for all of us to get better, you got to know what you're doing before you go out on that field. With Kevin Stefanski, wasn't any of that. If they got offsides, you got to stay in the play. You didn't even have to do it over. With Todd Monken, if there is a penalty, your ass is coming off the field. Veteran player, rookie player, it doesn't matter. Consequences for mistakes. With Kevin Stefanski, there were none. Do as you please. With Todd Monken, do as you told. Because if you don't, we getting your ass off the field and getting somebody else who can do it the right way.
The day you love as a coach and as a player. It was kind of a dress rehearsal day. So you think about OTAs, you think about rookie minicamp, you think about all the things they've done in the meeting rooms. Today you got kind of like a dress rehearsal. A lot of 11-on-11s, a little bit of warm-up in the beginning, a little bit of individual, a little bit of group work. But even special teams today, everything was more game-like. Everything was 11-on-11. They'd get a little break, and then they would get into the next 11-on-11. So as a player and as a coach, you love these days because you kind of get to see what you've learned and if you've gotten any better at certain things. And I thought they did a great job. Both teams, both sides of the ball were, as you said, energetic, attention to detail. If they don't do it right, they do it over. And that's kind of the Monken thing that we've seen through minicamp, through the whole summer. But today was a very kind of dress rehearsal day, get them out of here. As you said yesterday, getaway day. I thought they were outstanding today, just with the tempo. Mistakes are going to happen. You can control tempo and pace, and they did that today.
Really saw the activity on the defensive side of the ball today as well. Carson Schlesinger got his hand on a football. It was pretty funny. Vernon spooked Spencer Fano into a false start, which I thought was pretty hilarious. But just the activity on that side of the ball, working against this offense, a lot of batted passes, a lot of getting in the passing lanes, tightening those windows for these quarterbacks to look into. What did you like from the defense?
Well, I said to you when that happened, I was like, Spencer Fano has to go from, Myles Garrett, and then we're going to get rid of Myles Garrett. We're going to bring in Verse. So it's like there's no break for the young man. I think he's holding his own, but he's going to have his hands full all camp, especially when pads go on. You did see. Now, the thing that's common that I see every single day is you just kind of say Schlesinger's a good football player. He always seems to be around the football, whether it's pass, whether it's run. He's energetic. He's a guy. Quincy Williams looked really good today on defense, too, and he's kind of the vocal leader. This defensive front, like you said, they got their hands on a lot of passes. And then the secondary is very aggressive. They're in man coverage. They're helping over top with Ronnie Hickman. I think Ronnie Hickman had a very good day today. But again, the aggressive style that we've kind of known over the last couple of years, it's still here. Different coach, same philosophy. They're getting after it, and they had a very good day today.
Yeah, when you talk about Verse, and
now when you hear Daryl Ruiter talk about this football team, there is always that question. There is always that question. This man says, sign Cody Kessler. They done that already. That didn't work out well. That right there did not go so well. Well, let's go back.
I guess how can they?
He doesn't finish like Myles does. Now, you're also Graham's a year older.
Yeah.
Carson Schlesinger,
3, maybe 4 weeks deep into this training camp. I'll ask you this, Coach. Is it somewhat disappointing and a little bit of a failure that neither one of these guys has been able to take the reins and get this job? And, let's also go positive with it. What are the positives of now going into training camp with no starting quarterback and running a true competition when they're going to be in pads?
How can it be a disappointment when they haven't done anything yet? How do you expect a quarterback to win a job when there has been no scenario to where there is actual gameplay or where they have to actually make a true decision? How do you know how that quarterback is going to react? We haven't seen Deshaun Watson take a hit yet. Deshaun Watson is not taking a lick in 2 years. How do you know how that's going to turn out? You haven't seen Deshaun Watson make an actual football decision yet. And even when he was playing and making those decisions, those were questionable. You've seen Shedeur, but the question is, has he improved? Has he gotten better? What has he done to improve his overall performance? We've seen that his footwork's improved. Now we have to know that his decision-making is improved. His reading of the defense is improved. His understanding of this new offense is improved. Those are the things that have to be known. But without the pad zone, without actual practices, without playing against another formative opponent that is trying to knock your block off, none of that is yet to be known. But the Cleveland media are so enamored with just give us a quarterback that right now it don't matter if you've seen any of that. We just want to know so we can talk about it and move forward from there. Either we gonna like it, which you ain't, and then we can tell you how wrong you were for the next 8 months, and then worry about the draft next season. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They don't want to find somebody that's going to be great or has the potential to take this team to the next level. They just want to give me a name so I can talk about it. They don't care nothing about none of that other stuff.
Well, I tell you what, today was Deshaun Watson was outstanding today. I thought he was a little bit more impactful than Shedeur was today. I thought Shedeur yesterday was a little bit more impactful. So they've had these ups and downs, but I don't think these ups and downs have been so giant. It hasn't been where one guy has been terrible and the other guy's been great. It also hasn't been that they've been lights out. They've, those extremes I don't think have been there during this camp. They've had some really good moments, but I tell you some things that are improving. Their footwork, their understanding where they're going with the ball, their progressions, their mechanics, their weight transfer, all those things that I kind of look for in a quarterback, I've seen improvement. You can see what Todd Monken, you saw today with Dylan Gabriel, who's had his best day probably as a Brown. Doesn't mean he's outstanding, but you can see the improvement this offensive staff is having on all these quarterbacks. So no, I'm not disappointed because it hasn't been where they've been terrible. And that's where sometimes they were last year.
I don't know. There have been a couple of throws.
There have been throws.
Where I'm just like, what are we doing here?
Correct.
This guy. There's been a couple of throws. Every throw is not meant to be perfect. Show me a quarterback who hasn't had a bad throw. Even in shorts. It happens. What is the expectation from the Browns media that everything has to be perfect? This is what it sounds like. That no mistakes can be made. No balls can be dropped. You can't have no bad passes. Everything has to be on point. But we ain't playing nobody. We playing against ourselves and players that'll probably be on the practice squad. But we can't have no mistakes. We can't have no interceptions. We can't have no miscues. We can't have none of that. Find me a quarterback that has done that. Yes, sir. Sure, Gabriel. Find me a quarterback who hasn't done any of those things. And I promise you, I'll tell you a lie. We're in OTAs, minicamp. This is a learning session. This is not where you are perfect on everything. This is the time to learn, practice, get better, achieve a few goals, but the overall goal is to get better. When we get into training camp, we expect you to be better than you were in OTAs and minicamp. We expect you to take those things that we've taught you, that we've given you, the things that you've learned as a player, and use those in these practices. Because preseason is going to determine who's the quarterback of 2026. Not OTAs, not minicamp. It's going to be preseason when you have players that are trying to make a roster and you have that pressure of making decisions. You have the pad zone. People are trying to hit you and hurt you. Deshaun Watson's biggest enemy is Deshaun Watson and Deshaun Watson's body. Because Deshaun Watson has yet to make it through a complete season as a Cleveland Brown. That's Deshaun Watson's main goal, is just to make it through. to show that my body is capable of playing this game an entire season. He hasn't done it yet. That's the thing we talking about.
No, I'm speaking as a whole, and once again, you hope with more reps, the idea of timing with different receivers. KC is going to run a different route than Boston, even though it's the same route. They're going to run it a little differently. I see them going to the right spot a bunch. I could be wrong, but what I know is that it seems like they're going to where they need to go with the ball. It seems like their footwork is much better. It seems like the poise they're playing with, the confidence they're playing with. It seems like Monken and his staff have gotten to the point now they got to go play, and I think that's okay when you get the pads on. That's a good thing, and I think it's okay that it's going to go into camp because again, I think they're both progressing at a high level. You got a guy coming off just 7 starts. You got another guy who's coming off major injuries. I think they've been better than they've been bad in my opinion, in terms of the whole picture. Some of the throws will improve. I believe those will improve with more reps.
What do you think it's going to take for one of these guys to take the reins, and also though play at a level where they can play winning football, and this team can win behind them, not maybe just do enough? Like, can either one of these guys elevate these young receivers and take advantage of the skill sets that Andrew Berry has found and added to that room?
Well, now they're much better. The tight end room's much better. We talked yesterday about the receivers. Junkins looks healthy. Sampson looks healthy. Rocket Sanders and even Marshall. They have some weapons around the quarterbacks this year. So that's going to be the first thing. They've addressed the offensive line. We don't know if it's better yet, but it's addressed. And that's important. These guys are all – the influx of talent on the offensive side of the football has been noticeable. Doesn't mean wins. It just means when you see these guys move, we've seen it for the last couple of years, it's a different moving type of offense. So I think for these quarterbacks that have success, they're going to be guys you win with. They're not going to be guys you win because of early on. So that means the receivers have to play well. That means the offensive line has to pass protect. They have to run the ball. They have to be balanced in everything they do. This is going to be a team effort on offense. And the quarterback's got to make sure, in my opinion, it's going to come down who protects the football. Both have had some mistakes where they've given up the football during these last 3 days, and they can't do that because when you have talent around you, just got to put the ball in their hands. I think Monken's going to kind of stress protect the football. For me, that'll be, if they don't separate each other by play, it'll be who protects the ball better.
The other thing we're going to be watching in training camp is the offensive line. You mentioned those guys up front in the trenches.
That is the stark difference between Daryl Ruiter and Coach Riz. I know y'all see me turning back and forth, looking left and right. I got a lot of activity going on over here. Kids are asking me 1,000 questions. I got people in my ear. So what we gonna do? I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta handle some business. I got a lot of company in my house, still from yesterday, as we had to get together yesterday. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do what I do, cause they are killing me. But we just might come back later on this evening and deal with the rest of this, because that was just the reports from Daryl Ruiter. We were going to get more in depth with his radios and all that other stuff. Then the conversation they had with Andrew Berry, it gets deeper, but that was just a preview of what was taking place and what all was going on leading up to where we are now. But I'm gonna get out of here because these peoples, I'm gonna put everybody outside. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I appreciate everybody coming to hang out. I know it was a little suspect, a little off kilter, but we'll get back into the thick of things in a little bit. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace out.
Big snacks, 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 big snacks. Let's go. Big snacks, big snacks, yeah. Big snacks, big snacks. Before you go, hit that like and subscribe. Join the family, come along for the ride. Sports, culture, life, yeah, we talk it all. From the Browns to the Bucks, every rise and fall. See you aunties, I appreciate the love. Big snacks in the building, man, it's all aboard. G. Bush, K-Sap, Auntie Faye in the mix, Mag Dog TV. Money, man, that's the click. Hey, hit that bell, ding, don't It gets dangerous. CUNT, Ground Station, Buff Nation.